Team Taish, good to see you, Jim. Lovely to see you, Pulkit. Hi,
Good to see
Harsh.
you, Hrishikesh.
And
Hi, sir.
Thank you,
Bijoy, what's up?
Hrishi K.
Harsh,
Hey,
the question has to go to you first. Are you feeling better, buddy? A little worried about
Yes,
you.
yes.
All your
No, no,
fans were really
absolutely.
worried. Yeah? Doing better?
Much better. Yes, yes.
Excellent. So is the it's the most cliched question on the planet, but I will do a disservice to my audience if I don't ask you that. The meaning of Taish, let's get that cleared right at the top. Filmmaker sub.
Tesh is rage. It's rage in its purest form. So that's what Tesh is all about.
Okay, because some are saying passion, but you're saying, I mean, passion could also, you could get into a rage of passion, but it's just pure rage.
This is just pure rage.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Pulkit, one thing that I've realized is when I see the teaser and the trailer, is that there is hello Kriti. We were
What's
missing
up,
Hi.
girl?
Hi.
we were missing a beautiful feminine presence here. This is becoming like was becoming like a boys' locker room. So I'm so happy that you're here.
Well, now you know what it felt like to be on set because these boys were busy ogling at each other, and Sangeeta and I got no attention.
Goodness me. How can you not ogle
So
at these
true.
two lovely ladies?
They were too busy looking at themselves. अपनी यहाँ पर हर्ष के beauty shots, Pulkit के ab shots, Jim just being his suave self and his hair flying like गाड़ी वाला shot. Like all of them
तब
got
भी
all the glamorous shots.
तब भी कोई
Vanity.
फायदा नहीं हुआ. तब भी कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ. ट्रेलर में सबसे सुंदर आप और संजीदा ही लग रहे
हाँ,
थे.
ये बात है.
Aww,
They don't even have to try.
Harshji.
कोशिश करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Naturally, natural beauty. Uh,
Exactly.
Pulkit, I want to come to the fact that you see, there's then an older generation that went from the Pind to the UK. You know, the people who are, let's say, West London people, South Hall, Wembley. It looks as though they never changed their riti rivaj. They're still very feudal in nature. The younger brigade, of course, has become cooler, and you know they've adapted to Western lifestyle. But just 70s, 80s mein gaye or 90s, it looks as though they're still stuck in a time warp. And I think Taish talks about a lot of that stuff. It's almost as though they could have been in their village in Batinda, behaving like that, but they're behaving like that in London. I want your opinion on that.
You know, I feel when they are away from home, they always want to, they carry a few pieces of home with themselves. And we as Indians, we are very melodramatic. Yeah, we are very larger than life in our emotional display as well. If we're gonna cry, we're gonna cry chhati peet ke. If we're gonna laugh and enjoy and dance, we're gonna have dhols along with us. So I think that's what happens with people who actually leave their homes and motherland and try to settle out somewhere. Uh, they always keep that part of the culture, the festivals, the all the ceremonies that go on in India. So they try to, hold on to those things. And आई फील दैट्स फेयर इनफ यार क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ पे रह के अगर इतने मजे से दिवाली मनाते हैं तो वो वहां पे रह के क्यों नहीं मनाएंगे दे विल ऑल्सो ट्राई एंड प्ले स्टफ where they are lesser in number and they would try to make the best of it कि यार हम भी अगर दिवाली मना रहे हैं तो हमारे घर पे भी ऐसे ही लगना चाहिए कि लाइटें लगी हैं and everything is lit up so well. They would celebrate the Christmas in a similar manner, Eid in a similar manner, and everything's as Harsh was telling us in the earlier interview, where while we were shooting at this particular location, it was a haunted place. Okay, it was a haunted prison where we were shooting at, and we being Indians, it was Ganesh Chaturthi. Everybody started doing puja, part, and all the songs of Ganpati Bappa Moria at the loudest volume possible to scare the ghosts away. So we Indians are like that. We carry India in our heart, and we carry the soil with us, and we always try to sow the same kind of seeds wherever we go in the world, and that's why we are spreading also like wildfire. And I'm proud of the fact that wherever any corner of the world you go, there is an Indian brother or sister ready to help you and make you feel at home.
It's like Jay Sean and Rishi Rich were telling me that when their when their elder generation and their uncles and their parents and all come back to India, they say, "Oh my God, India has really changed." And how modern are they? Look at the clothes people are wearing because they're still stuck at the time when they left India at that particular time.
Correct.
Uh, Kriti, I believe you play. Is it a doctor or a nurse in the medical profession in the NHS?
I play a doctor. I play an orthopedic surgeon in the film. जो रियल लाइफ में तो कभी भी नहीं हो पाता. मुझे हड्डियां तोड़ना आता है, जोड़ना तो बिल्कुल नहीं आता. But I got the opportunity to do that in this movie. To play an intelligent character, unlike what I am in real life. Arfa is, I think, the complete opposite of who I am. उसमें एक ठहराव है, उसमें एक maturity hai. She's a very strong girl. She understands what's right and wrong. She thinks of the consequences of her actions before she actually acts on them. So I think that's a little bit about Arfa, where she's a perfect blend of, I think, vulnerability and strength. I've always thought of Arfa that way. Every time I've behaved like Arfa or acted like Arfa on screen, the two emotions I carried with me was, you have to be strong. Think how Arfa would be in this mood. How would she react? Do not react like Kriti. But I think uh, it was a very easy character to adapt to because I admired the shit out of her, very honestly. So it was very, very easy.
And in that aspect, the culture, and even when I go up to Lucknow or Faizabad, and you have people from across the border coming, there's very little tu tadak. There's more of aap, even when they're
Ji,
talking to friends. So have
ji.
you adopted that lihaz, that verbal, the speech thing in your character?
Yes, we have tried to a certain degree, but I think to keep the characters real, and she is where she is today, you adapt to a certain lifestyle and to a certain way of speaking with one another. But there are certain things that your fundamental personality does not change. जो पूरे बचपन में आप देखते हो कि माँ बाप एक दूसरे से भी आप कह के बात कर रहे हैं. अब्बू को आप अब्बू ही बुलाएंगे, आप डैड नहीं बुलाएंगे.
Correct.
क्योंकि I look at my father today and I know that you can very easily, like, I can call him dad or daddy, but I choose to call him papa. Because that is something that I've been brought up with, and whichever part of the world I may go to, that aspect of my life and my fundamental personality will not change. And that aspect of Arfa's personality also does not change. The way she communicates with Rohan, the way she communicates with Sunny, uh, you know, her idea of her idea is, uh, I think honestly, it's not कि we've tried to define कि नहीं ये ऐसे ही बात करेगी, but it came in a very natural flow also because the dialogues were written that way. तो नाना करते भी अगर आपके डायलॉग राइटर आपको वो जस्टिस दे देते हैं आपकी जबान पे, तो it's just a little bit of work that comes, you require to do as an actor. And then there was Bejoy, who was very clear about what he wanted, कि वो ऐसे ही बात करती है. So I think that is a tone that we stuck to throughout the film. But मुझे बहुत मजा आया to do something like this because it was very different from anything I've done before.
Jim, what is it with you and bromances? We spoke of Ali Fazal and your bromance in House Arrest. And here you are
That's true.
again with Pulkit Samrat. And you've got that bromance kind of thing. Um, as a viewer, I can say, we can believe that you love your best mate, whatever, hang out with you, second that and third that.
I just want to say, I think Ali recommended. Ali said, बहुत मजा आया bro, तू भी कर ले. To Pulkit.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But this guy is flamboyant. He's obviously very moneyed, and his relationship with Pulkit's character. Just spend some time on that, please.
I don't know. I never really thought of him as like flamboyant or moneyed, frankly. I mean, clearly there was like a expensive wedding that everyone was going to be a part of, but I don't feel like we ever tried to play or even emphasize the idea of like who's from money and who's not from money. I think everyone to a certain extent is doing all
It's
right.
from money.
Not from money, but is doing okay. They're in the other family in their own way. Crime based, and us and our like whatever jobs that we have. But I think that the character, I like that he does let his emotions get the better of him at certain times. But when it like really counts, when there were like big events to deal with, I feel actually he the strength of his convictions mean that he didn't have to scream about it, mean that he didn't have to use his fists or make a big noise about it. It was more like, there are moments that, again, that I say that he does lose that control. But I think when it came down to it, and after he'd had some time to deal with his thoughts about it, I think that I really just loved that he was going to use the strength of his convictions and really knowing himself and knowing how he actually feels about an event which happened to him. He speaks from a place of knowledge and a place of knowing his feelings, and I like that, and I think that that's a wonderful thing. And if anything, I feel he is constantly trying to let good sense prevail over a kind of testosterone fueled men who are completely swept away by their emotions without realizing it and thinking that it's strength when actually it's just, you know,
testosterone.
Yes. Yeah.
हर्ष, गुस्सा दिखाने का या रेज दिखाने के अलग अलग तरीके होते हैं. कुछ लोग मतलब वायलेंस का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. ये बहुत इंटेंस आदमी लगता है मुझे जो आप प्ले कर रहे हैं, और मुझे लगता है उसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा तैश है शायद. इज दैट द राइट वर्ड टू यूज?
जी सर, बिल्कुल सही. तैश is a primary emotion that every character of this film is going through in each part of their lives. मेरा जो रोल इसमें पाली का जो मैंने रोल किया उसमें काफी कुछ भरा हुआ है, काफी चीजों से वो गुजरा है, और कोशिश करिए कि उस चीज को पर्दे पे दिखे. अब वो अगर आपको दिखी तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है. बट बिजॉय सर ने जिस तरीके से शुरुआत में बताया था मुझे, तो मैं थोड़ा सा, मुझे एक हल्का सा डर था कि ये वो जोन है जिसको मैं शायद बहुत कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ टच करने एज एन एक्टर टू टच इट. बट फिर उन्होंने और थोड़ा डिटेल में समझाया, एंड ही टोल्ड मी द रीजंस व्हाई ही इज going through all this, so that kind of, as an actor, you feel more comfortable dealing with those things, क्योंकि real life में आप कोशिश करते हो कि आप बहुत ही ज़्यादा civil रहो और you should not have these flaws. But Bejoy sir is a director who appreciates and he enhances the flaws, and तो फिर मुझे बहुत इसमें मजा आया.
But you know, the Punjabi rolling off your tongue wouldn't be as easy as these guys, you know, because at least for Pulkit and Kriti, one can say, even though they're not literally speaking in Punjabi, but your character has a lot of Punjabi speaking to do. Did you have a dialogue coach?
Yes, sir. So we had a dialogue coach who coached us for Birmingham की जो accent है, वो उसमें English और उसमें पंजाबी, क्योंकि Birmingham में based है फैमिली. तो बिजॉय सर ने हमारे लिए शुरुआत में ही अरेंज किया गया था. तो एक तो इंग्लिश मेरी मतलब कोई बहुत ज्यादा माइंड ब्लोइंग नहीं है, ऊपर से बर्मिंघम की एक्सेंट में इंग्लिश बोलना, तो वो काफी मजेदार, थोड़ा टेक्निकल था. प्लस पंजाबी, एज यू सेड, सो आई एम, वैसे तो मेरा महाराष्ट्र सरनेम है, बट मराठी भी मेरी कुछ बहुत खास नहीं है. तो
well done.
मैंने काफी आई ट्राइड.
Bijoy, you were saying something, so
I was saying
finish
because
that.
You talked about how there's so much. I mean, he had to tap into that rage inside him when he started preparing for the part. So by the end of the shoot, there were things that I didn't need to say. You know, because what happens is in the first week, 10 days, everybody takes that time to sink into the part, right? And what happens when you're doing like a long schedule is by the end of the schedule, they have found that sweet spot and that groove of playing that part. And each one of these people, all these actors, they start upping the ante with every scene of what they can do with the character. So I just want to pinpoint that one thing of Harsh that he did, which is there in the trailer, which is there in the teaser also, of there's a sequence in a hospital where he punches the glass frame on the wall, and he broke the glass frame as part of the scene. In rage, he did that. That was not scripted. That was not there in the script. It was not an art property he was supposed to break. There was a proper glass frame. In the middle of the scene, he just flies into this fit of rage, and he just punched the glass. And if you see this, the other actors' reaction, nobody expected it. Everybody just got shocked for a second because he was not supposed to do that. He does that, and his hand was just bleeding. And he went ahead and there's a dialogue. He finished the dialogue, and as soon as he finished the dialogue, we all ran to him to see if he's okay. And we had the senior actor Kunika, man, Kunika. She just started yelling at Harsh and saying, "Tera dimag kharab ho gaya, tu aisa karne ki kya zarurat hai?" And his hand was just bleeding away. We didn't stop it when he did it, but post the scene, of course, we had to dress it up and everything. But
poor guy.
He's like, "अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है, तू एक और तोड़." बाद में आते हम
method acting.
So the first person, the production designer came and said, हमारे पास दूसरा frame नहीं है, हो गया, फिर मिल गया मेरे.
Bichara. but Bejoy, music in Bejoy Nambiar films is something that I really look forward to, whether it's, the cutting edge cult sounds that, Shaitan or David, all these films had. And I believe you've put together a very interesting ensemble of musicians from around the world for Taish. Just a little on the music, please.
It's very integral to my storytelling, and I've been, in fact, been told that I kind of overdo it. So I've constantly tried to rein myself in, and I try to pull myself back, because I write with music. I write with music cues. I write with sound when I'm writing the script. So when I'm putting it together, when I'm shooting all those, in fact, there are a lot of scenes when we were shooting, we already knew the song that will play in the background. And I remember in the action scene, the climatic action scene, which I can't tell between who, but in the climax action scene, we actually played the song while shooting. They knew the song that was going to play while shooting. So I absolutely enjoy at least having that clarity that this is the kind of soundscape the film will have, and then collecting for it. This Taish soundtrack has also been quite special, because we had some very interesting musicians collaborating on it, right from Pavdharia, Lifafa, Prashant Pillai, Govind Vasanta, Memba from UK. So many different musicians collaborating for the first time, collaborating together. One musician who's releasing a track, I think officially, he's never put out a track. There's an artist called Bakshish. So I enjoy the process of putting that music together for the film.
Well, you should get Jim Sarbh to do a release a day. You know what he does on his Instagram feed, the song of the day kind of thing.
It could be anything. Why are you not promoting?
You got to now start getting the track list, and one by one, but you just got to start putting it out. Apple and Spotify and all these guys call him to make playlists for them. Yeah, there's an alternate career. I said, "Hamare pet pe laat to mat maro, yaar." Pulkit, the tattoos are yours, or were they created by the makeup department? And I like the graffiti on the jacket. So let's talk about what was done on your body as well as on the jacket.
Yeah, so there was a lot of graffiti that went on my body as well. They were obviously temporary tattoos. And these were all designed, like we all sat together, me and Bejoy were figuring out whether to keep tattoos, not to keep tattoos. So one of the look tests we had, I have, I just took a marker and started making some tattoos on my body just to get an idea कि अच्छा ऐसा लगेगा और अच्छा ऐसा ठीक लगेगा. उस time पे बाल पे भी, I think it was all black. So we did a little white color, little gray color somewhere as the streaks to just understand कि finally ये कराएं कि नहीं कराएं. And then me being the gadget freak, I had this app as well, which can just, paste tattoos on your body wherever you want. So the censored ones I sent to Bejoy to just go ahead. And then obviously the makeup team came on board and they created all these tattoos. Yeah, it was really nice. And they were executed so well कि literally लोगों को लगता था कि मैं नहा नहीं रहा हूँ क्योंकि 10-10 दिन तो टैटू निकलता ही नहीं था नहाने के बाद भी.
One of my favorite tattoos is the rabbit on the bike, the bunny rabbit on the bike.
Yeah, the bunny rabbit on the bike. It's right there. Correct.
On the heart, yeah.
Mine was Finding Waldo.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, there's a Finding Waldo under the ear. Wow.
Yeah, there is a Finding Waldo over here. Then there is one which is on the back of the neck, right there. So बहुत मजा आया था actually. I wanted to do something like this since a long time, and luckily both of us were on the same page. And he gave me all the freedom, to play with the character. That's how we got onto it. And then we needed, when it came to the jacket, we thought, agar jacket pe koi story hogi, there's a jacket that this guy, it has since ages. जैसे हमारे denims होते हैं, वो denim की jacket थी basically. So जैसे हमारे denims होते हैं, हम लोग कितना एक महीना नहीं धुलने डालते यार डेनिम्स को, बिफोर प्री कोविड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, नॉट ड्यूरिंग कोविड, बट एक महीना हम धुलने नहीं डालते थे हमारे, मतलब कितने सारे महीने निकल जाते थे वही जीन्स में, क्योंकि वो कंफर्टेबल है. सो आई वांटेड टू कीप एन एस्पेक्ट कि यार ये जैकेट जो है इसकी सबसे कंफर्टेबल जैकेट है और सदियों से है इसके पास. सो वी गॉट द एंटायर टीम टू स्क्रिबल ऑन इट. Harsh did, Jim did, Bejoy also did, Kriti did. Everybody on the set,
Like
from
they do
every
when you leave
department.
school. When you leave school, they do
Yeah,
that.
actually,
Yeah.
yes. But these were adults, crazy minds at work now, not innocent kids at work. So there's a lot of uncensored stuff also on that jacket. But that's a keepsake for me. And I'm gonna
Lovely,
keep that
yeah.
jacket with
You
me
shouldn't
forever.
return it. Kriti, I'm so impressed. I mean, you look so slender and beautiful. I believe you do a fair bit of stunts yourself. Huh? Kick some butt, did
It
some
was.
stunts.
I actually got lucky with this. It wasn't part of the plan. I wasn't a part of the scene till I actually reached London to shoot. And one day Bejoy told me कि they give you the script when you reach there, your scenes के आपको papers मिलते हैं. तो उसमें in the entire chase sequence, I was a part of it, which I wasn't a part of in the original script. So I went to Bejoy and I'm like, I'm doing this. So he said, yeah, Jim ko driving karni nahi aati. So we need you to sit in the driver's seat. So I was like, oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. But then again, I mean, there are rules with stunts and you need your body doubles and your stunt doubles. I don't know whether it was lucky for anyone else, but it was very lucky for me that the girl who was supposed to be my body double couldn't make it the day we were shooting. So I had to end up doing it myself. And no complaints there. I love driving. I love fast cars. I would never do it on a road otherwise. I don't even get on a bike. I'm terrified of bikes. But go-karting is something that I've really enjoyed all my life. And I think that came into play here. And I
It was
released my
actually
Taish via driving.
it was a very fine line between go-karting and dashing cars.
Now
And I
it's just
could-
Very,
been me
very
and
fine
Bud.
line.
Very fine. Like,
Buddy, I'm going to be driving you around. You better be careful about what you say.
you better watch out. It could really
And that
bite you. in
line
the
was also a
foot.
very
You
fine
know.
line between a compliment and a sarcasm.
But I could do an entire show on Jim Sarbh not knowing how to drive, but I will concentrate on the pool sequence. I believe you just kept going at it. There's a pool sequence where all of you are jumping into a pool, and your accomplished filmmaker who has done some of the most landmark films in this country, somebody you just didn't listen to. He kept going cut, and you just did your thing in the pool. Jim Sarbh, how indisciplined.
Jim was busy fighting with some girls in the water. He was just
Ah.
Oh, I fought whoever attacked me in the pool. No, but it was fun. I actually really love swimming, so I was like, "Ooh, pool sequence, let's do it. What do you want me to do? Where would you like me to leap?" It was like that. I don't understand the question though. I'm so sorry. What was
I
the
believe
question?
that's because you must have been doing something on your phone while you was
I know
talking.
I'm petting Mimi actually. One sec, you can see.
Oh,
Mimi
lay.
is sitting here.
Oh, you're
and
forgiven.
petting.
You're forgiven. No, the question was just that when your director says cut, why don't you just cut? Why do you just keep playing in the pool? But you've just answered it.
Oh,
And you have the
right,
most
right,
adorable
right.
bacha in your lap, so now I'm going to say anything to you. Harsh, Sanjida
But
यहाँ
I
नहीं
want to
है.
add to that
Yeah.
pool fight. The pool fight starts with Pulkit and this other guy, and Pulkit and the other guy kind of spoke about how they're going to do it and everything. But what I didn't realize is that Pulkit is afraid of water, and the other guy, who's a much bigger guy, he's also afraid of water. So when when the pool fight started, they both were in the water. They both were like pulling each other down, and they both were going down. They both were drowning.
So there were like, we did 2 takes of that. Okay, once we did a very short one, and then everybody was out, and suddenly then we continued from there. But what happened between these 2 takes is somebody's sunglasses just fell inside the pool. Okay, and it took the sunglasses at least 10 minutes to touch the ground. I was like, "ये इतना गहरा है?" Then I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't handle it. And then the other guy who was giving me दिलासा कि bro मैं संभाल लूंगा तेरे को, तू टेंशन मत ले, उसको खुद को स्विमिंग नहीं आती, वो मुझे पानी में गिरने के बाद बता रहा है कि bro मेरे को भी तू संभाल. And I'm like, I can't do this, bro. I can't do this. I just
This is so
somehow I
sweet.
swam towards the corner, and then I held on to the corner. Bejoy didn't cut. So I realized, I said यार अभी झगड़ा तो मतलब इस कैरेक्टर की वजह से स्टार्ट हुआ है और ये कोने में जाके खड़ा हो गया है, चलो इधर से लड़ाई कराते हैं. Then I'm just hanging at the side of the pool and I'm telling everyone, ए तू मार उसको, ए तू मार उसको, तू मार उसको.
Giving chabi to people. Yeah.
और जैसे ही कट हुआ, I got a panic attack. It took me 2 hours to get back to normal. I went back to my room, I slept, and I don't know, I was panting, I was shivering, everything was happening. But I couldn't do that in front of the crew, तो मैं रूम में भाग के चला गया because after all, मतलब हीरो में तो मुझे रखनी थी थोड़ी सी. मैं बताया भी नहीं किसी को कि नहीं आता मेरे को यार.
I like this tough macho Pulkit Samrat, scared of water, going into his room. That's really sweet, dude.
एक बार तो मैंने सोचा कि यार चलो मैं ट्राई कर लेता हूँ, किसी को पता थोड़ी चलेगा, जल्दी कट हो जाएगा. तो उसमें एक टेक्निकल रीजन की वजह से कट हो गया. बट द सेकंड टाइम व्हेन आई सॉ द सनग्लासेस फॉलिंग डाउन, आई लॉस्ट इट.
You're too funny, Pulkit. Last question to Harsh. We got to wrap up. Harsh, आपने शूटिंग की थी वहाँ पे. I believe there was a haunted prison, एक जेल खाना जिसमें भूत प्रेत आते हैं. And you guys had to pack up by 6 o'clock because there was Ghostbusters scheduled every day. Wow. So this film is not shot on behind the scenes entertainment. Harsh, tell me about that.
उस जगह वो जो जेल था उसको एज अ एक अम्यूजमेंट की जगह की तरह वो लोग दे स्टार्टेड यूजिंग इट. दे स्टार्टेड सेलिंग आउट टिकट्स और लोगों विजिटर्स वहां पे एक्सपीरियंस करने जाते थे स्पूकी चीजें. बट जैसे पुलकित ने कहा कि अगर वो डूब भी रहे होते तो बिजॉय सर कट नहीं करते. मेरे हाथ से जब थोड़ा बहुत खून बहा तो बिजॉय सर कट नहीं करते. अगर वहां असली का भूत आ भी जाता तो बिजॉय सर कट नहीं करते.
Moral of the story, बिजॉय नंबियार कट ही नहीं करते.
आपको आग लग जाए, आप बिल्डिंग से गिर रहे हो, पहाड़ों से गिर रहे हो, कुछ भी हो जाए, कृति की गाड़ी बैंग हो रही है, बिजॉय सर कट नहीं करते.
Correct, I agree.
Okay. It's in these mistakes that the magic of the scene comes out, you know.
The flaws.
Yes, that's his way of getting our flaws out.
Yeah. Okay, listen, just tune in. Bijoy, I believe there's a movie version and there's a web series version. So just tell the audience about that before we sign off.
So yeah, initially, of course, envisioned as a film. Because of the lockdown, we managed to revisit the material, and some of the test screenings, we got some very good feedback saying that maybe some viewers would have liked to watch it like a series. So that made us revisit the material and recut it. The series version is completely different from the film. It's got a different narrative structure, different storytelling pattern. And the film is, of course, just 2 hours, 20 minutes. And the series is broken into 6 episodes of almost 30, 35 minutes each. So the series is a bit more immersive. You get to experience the character's world a bit more than the film. But yeah, in a very unique kind of approach, thanks to the support of the Z team, I'm able to release both of them simultaneously. So the audience gets to choose what they want to watch as a series or as a film.
Yeah, and this is the first time it's happening. So big ups to Z5 for doing that. You want it in series form, you get it. You want it in movie form, you get it. Cheers, guys. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Kriti.
Thank you so much,
Bye,
Hrishi.
Pulkit.
Thank you, Hrishi.
Bye, Bejoy. See you. Lots of love.
Great Diwali.
You too. Stay safe and healthy.
Bijoy sir, cut
Cut करें बिजॉय सर.
Cut.